Hello everyone, Geisha back for another video. So thank you for tuning in. How are you guys doing? How are you in this time of quarantines and whatnot? Me and my plight are doing well. Thank you for asking. And today we have a special topic which seems to be quite popular based on how many people are already here, and that is how to get better at Japanese. So a few announcements. So, as you guys know, we are in the middle of a quarantine pandemic with the COVID-19 going around. So, on the bright side, I will be here a lot more frequently to record more videos for you guys. So, I'll be coming out with some polls, and I'd love to get you guys' input on what you'd like to see next on this channel. And thank you very much. Thank you. Feeling curly today. I'm going to take some photos too. But yes, thank you very much. Let's see. Other than that, yeah, I got some big news coming up. So there'll be lots of things to share in the next couple of videos. So stay tuned for that. But what I wanted to come on today about is how to speak better Japanese, right? And as you guys know, Japanese is my specialty. I minored in it in college, so I definitely have a degree in this. Hello, Nia. I have a degree in this, so I'm more experienced than, the average Joe as far as Japanese is concerned. But this is a tip, and it's literally just one tip that will change the game for really any language you want to learn. My older sister is trying to learn French, and this is the same thing I tell her too, the same exact thing. And this tip is to spend time with the language by talking to yourself. I know, so simple. Talk to yourself. What? That's so weird. Why would you talk to yourself? Let me explain. With any language, if you guys have seen the video that I did with Steve Kaufman, who is a polyglot, he speaks literally like 19 languages. He's on his 19th language right now, something ridiculous like that. For people who know a lot of languages or people who are bilingual or more, they spend a lot of time in each language, and it takes time to develop a certain level of flexibility, ability to handle the language. But that comes with the more time you spend with it, which is why you should talk to yourself. This is actually a tip that I received from my sensei back when I was in college. She said, when you are learning a language, what you should do is do everything you would normally do, but just try and do it in Japanese. Every phrase for every feeling that you've ever felt has a Japanese equivalent. And that's the same thing with any language. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Monday, there's a way to say that. When you stub your toe on the corner of the table and you're like, oh, and you're about to say something, there's a way to say that in Japanese. When you're feeling like the best ever and it's Friday and you just get off of work, that thing you're about to say, you can say it in Japanese too. And so the idea is that the more time you spend in the language, the more you can develop your own personality. And when you encounter different people who speak that language too, you can use it more effectively. Oh, hi, bonjour. Um, and in addition to that, you guys know that I work in a Japanese company right now. And one thing that I have honestly, like this tip has helped me so much is being in a higher status compared to my previous job. And let me take some time to explain. You guys know that I was a Japanese teacher. I was an English teacher in Japan. So I was considered like a lower level than most of the other teachers. I was their assistant. I was an ALT, an assistant language teacher. So I didn't have as many responsibilities as the other teachers did. And so naturally, if I made a lot of mistakes or I didn't really have a lot of engagement, that was expected. But now in my current job, where I am a legal assistant at a Japanese law firm, I am expected to handle the same amount of weight that my Japanese coworkers do. And we have the same job description as well, so there's a lot more responsibility there. So I'm required to have a lot more input. They don't go easy on me. They really give it to me. They speak to me like they do anyone else. When I'm in a meeting, I'm expected to keep up. I'm expected to give that same level of input as all my Japanese counterparts do. And that's why speaking to yourself in Japanese, I speak to myself in Japanese all the time, and it's so helpful because I have my own opinions. I'm able to think in Japanese. I'm able to process everything they're saying. I'm able to think about what I want to say before I say it. And I'm able to say what I want effectively. And so that's really the big tip. That's the big hint. Just to spend time with the language. You know, it takes a certain amount of hours for you to master any language. And the more time you spend in that language, the better you're going to be at being in that mode, in that frame of mind. And I really, really, really suggest for those of you who have not seen the interview with Steve Kaufman, he's just a very impressive individual in general. And I think it's worth your time. It's about, I want to say it's like 20, is it 25 minutes? I don't remember how long it is, but it's not that long. It's less than 30 minutes. You can skip around if you'd like. And I tried to cut it and chop it into the most important parts. So you'll see the most important chunks in there. And he answers a lot of questions around this topic. So if you're interested in learning, you know, Japanese, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Korean, whatever the language may be, a big tip from me is to spend time in that language and talk to yourself. And it's okay if you feel like it's just like basic words and phrases, basic grammar, sentence structure. Who cares? No one's gonna know because it's just you, right? So, what I'm trying to say is just work with where you're at because you're gonna improve regardless. I have a piece of hair that's bothering me. You're gonna improve regardless. So just stick it out, and watch that video. Watch that video. I should tag it. But yeah, that's how to speak better Japanese is to speak it. Oh my gosh, crazy, right? It's a huge life hack. Yeah. Oh yes, watch loads of anime. Watch loads of anime. Immersion is a big part. Immersion is a huge part. And nowadays, thankfully, because I've gotten to a certain level of knowing Japanese, I don't have to look at subtitles. I don't even have to watch what's going on in the anime. I just play it in the background as I'm getting ready for the day, or I'm putting on my makeup, or I'm picking out my outfit. I'll literally just play an anime and just listen to what they're saying. And another tip that I think I might have mentioned before is repetition. So if you have a particular anime character or a particular Japanese idol or a star that you really like the sound of their voice, listen to them talk a lot. Like listen to them. Listen to the way that they speak, when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're surprised, when they're angry. Listen to all the ways they say that and try to mimic them. That's something that I do too, which is why most of the anime that I watch are like really cutesy magical girl anime, like slice of life. I watch K-On!, I've watched Shugochara, Sailor Moon, of course, Fruits Basket, like really, really cute, very like feminine voices I listen to and try because that's kind of how that's how you're gonna start speaking. And yeah, that's that's why part of the time they try and say that you shouldn't learn Japanese from anime because anime is a very it's a form of Japanese that people don't really use on a regular basis, which is why dramas are a lot better if you want to learn how to like speak more naturally, or get a sensei who you like their voice and just talk to them. I had this one sensei in college. She's not there anymore, but she was so friendly. She was like the chillest sensei I've literally ever had. Like, yo, I'm telling you, if you were the same age, we'd probably like be going out for beer on the weekends, is all I'm saying. But I digress. So this teacher was super cool. And she told me, like, you know, if you're ever bored, like you can like come into my office. I could use a break from work anyway. And I took her up on that. Like literally, like every day after class, I'd be in her office and we'd just be chatting about stuff, just talking like regular stuff. And you know, I'd find myself after our conversations were done, I'd be like walking home or going somewhere, and I'd like remember something funny that she said or remember something that I said, and like kind of laugh to myself. But the good thing is that you kind of go back to that frame of mind where you're like thinking in Japanese, and that's the most important part. Like think in Japanese. Try not to translate if you can get to that point. I feel like I've been rambling. But I basically said my piece. So, moral of the story is spend time in the language, think in that language, talk to yourself, and it's okay to sound dumb. I sound crazy half the time, and I just talk nonsense all the time, but no one in my house knows what I'm saying, so it's okay. But yeah, so that's my big tip. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put some in the comments. I'm gonna start answering those. But yeah, that is the video today. This is so bulky. I have my actual outfit underneath this, so I'm like trying to make it work, but that's okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you for tuning in. If you guys are only here for this portion, then this is the official end. But yeah, other than that, yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to post those. And I'm gonna run through these. Take a sip of my tea. What do you guys think of this background? So this, I'm trying to make this like the new recording spot, and I think it's pretty good. We got a nice solid white wall. I think you guys can hear me, so if that's a good sign, we might just stay here. Oh, can I see these older ones? There's older comments I can't see. I see Cat Kid. Hi. Alice says hello, Deidre. Hello. And Rolinda the Ninja says konnichiwa. Anato channel ga daisuki desu. Ah, thank you. Thank you. She says she loves the channel. Sir Quentin says hi. Dylan says hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Oreo. Hi, Niva. Hi. Yay. Alice says you look gorgeous. You look so gorgeous today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've got that quarantine glow, you know, staying inside. I've been getting so much sleep, you guys, is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I'm so well rested. Bright eyed, you guys. Oh, so also because of this whole quarantine situation, I'm on Instagram like 400% more than I used to be. So follow me at chocolate_geisha and you guys will see me. Or you can just look like hashtag chocolate geisha and you'll probably see my posts. Yeah, follow me, you guys. I'm gonna do like some Q&As and I might go on live again. Just because we got time. Today's actually my day off, so technically I'm not working, but I do work online now. I mean, we all have to, right? But I work online tomorrow, but today I'm free. Okay. Let's see. Deja says, I want to watch this again, but I can't listen in now. That's okay. All of my lives will always be on my channel afterwards. I don't delete any of them, so you'll have your chance. Ori Jella says, talking to yourself is something that really helps. I'm from Germany and I often do that with English without noticing. Same here. It's unconscious. It's honestly unconscious. And people commented, you guys know that, what was the video name? Why I Left Japan in Japanese. That video, like, sparked a lot of, like, you know, a lot of talk on my channel. But the reason that I like applied to my new job that I have right now was because I missed talking in Japanese. And people said that in that video that I did, my whole personality like changed and I seemed like really fake or like whatever people were saying, right? I don't really read the comments like that, but people were saying that it's kind of odd, like I was speaking kind of odd. And that's mainly because like I low-key have like another personality in Japanese. And for those of you who speak more than one language, you can probably relate. My way of talking and my kind of demeanor in English is not the same as when I'm in Japanese mode. You know, I think in two different ways. And I think that might be because I watch so much cutesy anime in Japanese. And even when I'm not really processing what they're saying, I'm hearing the way that they're speaking and I'm hearing the kind of like expressions that you're using. And I'm like regurgitating that later on without even knowing. So that's probably why. I probably sound like Yui from K-On, but that's okay. Anyway, continuing on. Let me go back. Ask me questions, you guys. I want to be on live longer today. I could just read comments, but I'd love to answer questions. One thing, one of my teachers in high school said that if you have a question, you should ask it, because if you have the question, chances are someone else in the class has the question. And that's true. So yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Let's see. Rolinda the Ninja says, asking questions and having people to speak with helped me a lot with Haitian Creole. Yep. Conversation partners, conversation partners. When I was in high school, I was in the tennis club. And there was this one girl, her name was Natsuki, and she was my friend, and I would always practice my Japanese on her. And yeah, she was just like a huge help. She didn't even know how much she helped me. And then later on, when we got older, we both got into college. We were still keeping contact. I think she moved to like Illinois or something, but We were super chill, and honestly, thanks to her, I'm probably a lot better than I would have been if I didn't have her at all. So yeah. I'm about to go back. I'm trying to read these in order. But Feng Shui, I saw your comment. Do you think music can help learning Japanese? A billion, billion, trillion, quadrillion times yes. It helps so much. When I first started learning Japanese, I loved like J-pop. I still do. I love J-pop so much. Do as Infinity, every little thing, slay me. I digress. So, listening to music, even if you don't understand what's being said, just try it and listen and pick out the words that you know. And actually, later on, when I got a lot better at Japanese and I was singing all those songs that I loved forever and ever, I was able to like know what they were saying, even though when I first learned it, I had no idea what it was. When I started actually like listening to the song again, I was like, oh, that's what they're saying. Oh, that's beautiful. Like it was so weird. But yes, music is a huge, 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 huge key. Listen to music. Just consume the media. Listen to music, radio, NPR, dramas, anime, TV. Like, if you read the newspaper, do people do that anymore? If you read the newspaper in Japanese or whatever language you're trying to learn. And it is so helpful, you guys. It is so helpful. Oh my goodness. So helpful. Let me go back. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. School babysitters. She said, Rolinda says, school babysitters was another cute one I liked. I have to look. I was trying to watch, what is it, on Netflix? It's like Bakudon Girls, about like these Yakuza gangsters who did like a gender reassignment surgery and they all became like really cute girls, but they all still speak really, really like rough and like kind of like manly. I mean, obviously they're like men, but anyway, I had to stop watching that because it started making me sound aggressive. I started being a lot more blunt and I don't like that. So I'm trying to like keep like my feminine nature. So I try and watch girly anime. It helps. It really does. It really does. Okay. Let me read more. Did I just skip? Oh wait, no, no, no. We're right. Okay. Alice says good advice. Thank you. Auntie says thank you. You're welcome. Sir, chicken. Am I saying this right? Sir, chicken. Is that chicken? No, it's not chicken. It's chicken. Anyway, I digress. He said, I also watch TV as well. TV is helpful. TV is very, very helpful. Let's see. Do, do, do. Um, the only sentence I know in Japanese is totemo kawaii tori. A very cute bird. That's still something. Let's see. Do, do, do. Ooh. Rachella says, I hope this corona thing will end fast. My classes are closed and I don't know when they're opening again. Well, I'm in San Francisco and we are officially on lockdown until April 7th. So that's 3 weeks from 2 days ago. So I am assuming that we're going to be inside for another like 2.5 weeks. So I would assume that long. It might die down, oh, I want to say a little afterwards. It doesn't do too well in heat, so I'm sure as it starts warming up and we start going further into spring and later into summer, it'll calm down kind of on its own. But we have to prevent the spread, which is why we're all home. That's why we're all home. Um, let's see. You guys ask me questions. I love reading comments, but I like answering questions. Okay. Same when I talk in Spanish, my voice always gets more high and I have a nicer tone. Yeah, honestly, I kind of like my Japanese self. I started missing my Japanese self when I first came to America because I didn't speak Japanese at all. I went from speaking Japanese like every day, like going to work in Japanese, talking to my friends in Japanese, talking to my boyfriend in Japanese, and then I come to America and it's like, goodbye, Japanese self. It's back to English. And it was kind of nice because my Japanese self, my English self was getting kind of neglected. But then I started missing my Japanese self because I don't know. It was just, I started missing it. So I'm happy I'm working at the Japanese company. I actually really like my job. And I'm happy I can say that. see, continuing on. Let's see. Amy says, how can I contact you? I don't use social media except for YouTube, I guess. Okay, so I have a business email, chocolateumai95@gmail.com, and that is what I use for business inquiries. I don't usually do personal questions like that. That's what this is really for. I do like paid consultations as well if that's something you're interested in, but I don't usually chat in business email. It's just for business. Okay, let's continue on. Oh, Moonchan says, what inspired you to learn Japanese? Let's see. Okay. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge Sonic nerd. Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah, like the blue fast thing. I was obsessed, and I still kind of am, ever since I was little. And Sonic is a Japanese creation, so along the line, as I got further into my obsession, I realized that Sonic was Japanese. I started looking into it, started getting into anime. From anime, got interested in the culture, in the language, and the rest is history. And here we are, like I don't know, I was really young. I was gonna say 11 years later, but I started learning Japanese 11 years ago. But I was obsessed with Sonic from like literally like 7 years old. Long time ago. A long time ago. Long time ago. um, let's see. A girl who likes anime says, I'm late, what did I miss? So basically, talk to yourself in the language you're learning. Talk to yourself and say every little thing that you're thinking. Try not to translate it, just think it in Japanese. And that's really it. Try and use it and immerse yourself. Immerse yourself by watching anime and manga and reading and writing, and basically spend as much time doing things in that language as you can. That's it. You sound so great when you speak Japanese, says Rose Jolie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of my progress. I'm really proud of my progress. And between you and me, I was planning on entering another Japanese speech contest, but it got canceled. That's the violin that I'm playing. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is at this point. They're rescheduling it for autumn, so maybe I'll do a video about that or something. Oh, I was about to go back to the top, but do you have a favorite Japanese word? Yes, I do, and it's yabai. Yabai. And for those of you who don't know what yabai means, there really is like no meaning. It can be used, it's kind of like the equivalent of the F word in English, but not so severe. I mean, it's seen as informal, but it's not a curse word. It's just a word that's used in place of a lot of different things. If you want to stress that whatever you're having is extreme or like really dramatic, like the contrast is like really severe. You'll say like, maybe you could say like, for example, it's cold. とっても寒いです which means it's very cold. You can say やばくて寒い. やばくて寒い is like, it's also extremely cold, but it's like, it's so effing cold. But not like, it's not negative though. It's not seen as like rude. It's just like very casual. But it basically means the same thing. If something is good, you can say yabai. If something is bad, you can say yaba. If you're really happy, you can say yaba. It's just you. It's a word that you can use. Anyway, that's my favorite word. It's always been my favorite word. Now that I only really speak Japanese in my workplace, I don't use it like really at all. But if I ever talk to my Japanese friends, like I'll like throw it and sprinkle it on my conversation a little bit to like show that I'm hip. But yeah. Let me go down. Okay, so Rose Jolie says, when did you start speaking Japanese and what made you want to start? Oh, I answered that. I was interested in Sonic. Sonic is Japanese, and that opened the door. That opened the floodgates. The floodgates. And I just was a learning machine at that point. Just obsessed. I would literally go to Chinese restaurants and like take all the chopsticks and try and like eat everything with chopsticks. Crazy. I'm about to go to the top, but it says hair tips. I've seen and love your natural hair. Thank you. Hair tip. Stay moisturized and find what works for you. That sounds so cliche, but just no two people are the same. And even though it looks like the hair is similar, some people have totally different lifestyle. They do different things with their hair. Just find what works for you, really. Find what works for you and stick to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's another thing. Hi, more people are here. Um, let's see. You guys ask me questions. Ask me questions. Oh yes, cookies and pudding. Ah, my brother got me into his Sonic obsession too. So addictive. It's a slippery slope. Um, let's see. Feng Shui says, how many years does it take to learn Japanese without being in Japan? It takes as long as it takes. And I know that sounds like such a cop out because it is. It takes as long as it takes. You can't rush it, and it's not a race. For some people, they can start speaking it in like 3 months. Oh my gosh, some people it takes 3 years. Some people it takes 11. But it takes as long as it takes. That's why it's important to spend time in that language. Because for me, it took me about 11 years to like get this good. But that's mainly because of how frequently I was speaking Japanese in that time frame. If I was speaking Japanese every day for 11 years, I'd be native at this point. But if I was speaking like maybe every now and then that's what brought me here. You know, so it just depends on the frequency that you practice. So yeah, what you give is what you get. If you put in something, if you put in a lot of yourself into learning the language, you're going to get so much more out of it. I promise you. Spend time in it. Just be in that frame of mind, just zen yourself and just speak that language as much as you can. Let's see. Let's see. Belinda the Ninja says, anyways, do you have any suggestions for conversation practice before going to Japan? Okay, so I'm about to put out a video, which is how to make Japanese friends if you're not in Japan. Please watch it. It's coming up like this week. But besides the point, I can give you a couple tips. First is to make some Japanese friends. Like, just find conversation partners. You can go online and get a pen pal. That's what I did in high school. Or find like people in your Japanese community. If there's like a Japanese market or some kind of Japanese owned restaurant, try and go there and try and like order your food. And the good thing is that because you're giving them your money, they have no choice but to be nice to you and to pay you mind. And that's wonderful. So those are just a couple ways that you can make that work. But yeah, just find where the Japanese people are and go there. I want to be where the Japanese people are. Like, just find where they are and just go there. Okay, continuing on. So Joshua Peacock says, hi, Chocolate Geisha. See any cool movies, TV shows lately? Let's see. Okay, so I am like a total kid at heart. And I've just been watching like We Bare Bears, like just straight through. Like all the seasons. I've just been watching We Bare Bears. And for those of you who don't know, it's a cartoon about a polar bear, a grizzly bear, and a panda. And yes, it's exactly how it sounds. It's adorable. And I've just been watching it nonstop. Okay, you guys, more questions, please. Let's see. Let's see. Cookies and Pudding says, do you cook any Japanese food? Not really. Not really. I'd say that I don't really eat a lot of noodles. I'll go out and eat ramen, but I am not a cup ramen girl. I will not touch that stuff. But I do like ramen. Don't cook it. I eat a lot of tofu, but that's mainly because I'm vegetarian and not because I necessarily like it. I mean, I do like it at this point. It's become a staple in my diet, but no, I don't cook a lot of Japanese food. I love mochi though. Ooh, could mess up some mochi. Yeah. Oh, so there's this Japanese sweet store that's in San Francisco, kind of like one stop away from my work. And now I'm like a regular there. And there's this like older lady, and we like always chat in Japanese. Um, yeah, she's really sweet. I just had a flashback. But yeah, stuff like that. That's how you get your Japanese practice. You gotta find where they are and you gotta go make friends. And they're really friendly. The thing about Japanese people is that, like, even if you speak like this much Japanese, they're like blown away. Like, blown away. They're like, oh my God, what's your name? Where are you from? Please come again. Take my business card. Like, they are so impressed with like the smallest things. So just make friends. They're so friendly. I have a video coming up very, very soon, so you guys will see more details on that. But yeah, basically just go out and be friendly. Um, let's see. Mm-mm-mm. What's the best way to learn kanji, says Aoichi. Well, Aoichi, the best way to learn kanji is to start. Yes, the best way to learn kanji is to start. Go on, for example, search like JLPT N5, which is the lowest level of the Japanese language proficiency test, and see all of the kanji that you're required to know to be N5, to be classified as N5. That's what you should practice learning. Flashcards, just repetition, repetition, repetition. Like, go through it a lot. Once you master those, go to JLPT N4. Learn all of those. When you're done, JLPT N3. Learn all of those. N2, N1. And then by the time you're done, you'll know all of the kanji that basically native person would know, should know. And that's how you can go about it. I am practicing for N2. Ooh, I passed N3 last year, so yay me. But trying to do N2, and that's basically how I've been practicing. I've just been going online and finding all of the kanji for N2 and just flashing those cards. That's the way to do it. And it's all the way in December, so I've got like a ton of time, but spend the time doing it, because believe me, if you practice like once a week until December and every day until December, the results are very different. So I'll let you know that. Sips tea. You guys like my cup? You can't see because it's inverted, but it says wake up and makeup. Yeah, I love fashion. I was a Bratz girl, not a Barbie girl. And I have a passion for fashion even now. I love dressing up. And we're quarantined, so we're not supposed to be like really going anywhere. And I haven't, but I've still been like getting up and getting ready like I am going somewhere. My mom's always like, Dee Dee, where are you going? And I'm like, to the living room. So yeah, basically. Anyway, you guys, ask more questions. Ask more questions. Let's see. Oh, you're very welcome, Rose. I'm happy to answer your questions. Let's see. Oh, Joshua says, OMG, OMG, what's the food you miss most from Japan? I miss a lot of food. I miss a lot of food. I miss the thing I miss the most is konnyaku. Konnyaku. And for those of you who don't know what konnyaku is, it's basically like a jelly that is really, really good. And it's like jello, but it's very firm. It's made into noodles, it's made into like jello. It's sweet, it's savory, it's anything you want it to be. And I did a vlog on the Konnyaku Park in Gunma. You guys should watch that. I love konnyaku, and Gunma, the prefecture where I lived, was known for konnyaku. And so every time I ate konnyaku, like every time now that I eat konnyaku, it's just like my heart is just back in Japan again, and I'm just remembering all of those times where I brought it for lunch and all of my kids were jealous of my jelly, and just it just brings back all those memories. So I miss konnyaku a lot. And my boss is really, really sweet. So sometimes he'll take like the coworkers and us, he'll take us out to ramen. And then always, I'm noticing trends. Always after we're done having ramen, he'll take us to this one Japanese supermarket and he'll tell us to just buy whatever snacks we want. And so I always, always, always get konnyaku jelly. Always, always. And on the package, you can see that it's like made in Gunma, and I'm like, I knew that, but anyway, yeah, I love konnyaku. Okay, I'm gonna try and do these in order. I'm feeling like a long video today, you guys. I'm feeling like a long video. But ask me questions, or else I'm just gonna talk. I guess that's what you guys are here for anyway, but you know what I mean. Anyway, do do do. Ramen is just awesome, as well as gyoza. Ooh, gyoza, man. The one the one downside with gyoza is that it usually has like pork in it. The ones in Japan, when you buy them frozen, most of the time they have pork, and I'm a vegetarian, so I'm like, ugh. But they did have some veggie ones, and those were pretty good. Ooh, the kids would get so jealous when I brought that stuff in. Ooh, man, memories. Okay, let's see. Sir says, since I don't have any programs, I watched videos about the first two scripts. And Alichi says, thank you, you're welcome. Should have known that. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, a girl who likes anime says, do you think there should be more stores in America that sell things you would mainly find in Japan? I would say no. I think there's the right amount of stores for the amount of interest. There's a thing such as supply and demand, and the reason that there's the amount of Japanese stores that there are right now is because that amount of people are interested in that. And like I live in a suburb of San Francisco, but when I go like right into the center, there's like infinitely more Japanese stores. And that's just because that's where the Japanese people are. It kind of sucks though. I think for some of you who live in more remote regions where there's like a 0.0001% Japanese population, there's really no Japanese stores. And I feel for you guys. I feel for y'all. But yeah. Oh, Chicky Teen! Sir Chicky Teen! Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, I'm biased. I would always love more. I would always love more Japanese stores. I love Japanese stuff. Japanese things, I'm gonna tell you, a Japanese dollar store trumps an American dollar store like any day of the week. You get so much more bang for your buck in a Japanese dollar store. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Okay, let's see. Sir Chicky Teen says, the main channel I watched learn Japanese with Japanese Pod 101. I've actually used them before. Ooh, haven't heard that name in a while. Let's see. Emma S says, what is some anime you'd suggest for beginners who want to learn the language? I've heard the manga Yatsubato is good, but I haven't heard any anime suggestions. Okay, for learning Japanese, I'd say really any slice of life anime. Slice of life as in like, kids going to school, like teens and like kids going to school, people going to work. Like you want that everyday life kind of Japanese where they use everyday life vocabulary. You don't want to be watching crazy fantasy anime because you're going to learn all these words that people don't use in daily life. Just any kind of slice of life anime. And children's anime, like anime oriented towards children is better than like super super advanced like kind of like young adult anime. Try and watch stuff made for kids. And the same goes for learning Japanese. When I was first learning to read, I would read all children's books, like picture books. I would read those. They have like 2 sentences per page and it's like all picture. That's what I would use to learn. And eventually I was like getting to like, where they'd have like maybe a paragraph on a page to the point where like the whole page would be filled with words and it'd have pictures. And then eventually I transitioned into like a full on chapter book with a picture here and there. And that's kind of where I am now. I can read chapter books and I've read multiple of them, like all the way through. Mind you, they're still like for children. They're like, I want to say like 8th grader level. Not 8th grade, it's not even 8th grader level. Oh gosh, it's like 6th grader level. But you can still learn. Those are great ways to learn. So start small. Start really small. The smallest thing you could try and learn that first. When I have people who say that they want to like learn Japanese seriously, I'm like, learn the alphabet. Like learn the alphabet. That's the great way to start. I'm going way too far back. Hold on. You guys ask me questions and I will answer those. Let's see. Let's see. Aoichi said, did you buy any Japanese snacks before going to quarantine? Honestly, no, I haven't. Um, I don't eat a lot of like snacks like that. I usually just eat like real food, as you could call it. I actually really like to cook. So I usually just cook my food and eat like leftovers if I'm really hungry, or I'll just cook something new. So no, I don't eat a lot of snacks. I did buy a lot of fresh food, like new veggies and fruits and pasta, rice, beans, lentils. Got some lentils recently. But yeah, um, let's see. Tony James says, "Are you happier now? You seem to be naturally calm, I guess." Thanks. Um, I am I happier now? That's hard to say. Like my mood changes all the time. I am a Cancer, which means I'm really moody and I'm very emotional. Basically, all jokes aside, I'd say I'm like the same level of happy. Like I miss my friends, I miss the kids, I miss my old house, I miss having my own house because now I live with my parents, and that's a whole nother video. Okay, Ohio, that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. But I'd say like I always have had this like internal compass that like leads me to where the most joy can be found. And coming back to America was part of that. So I am happier now, yes, but I'm like I'm not. It's not better. I'm just I did what would make me happy, and I made the right choice. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Let's continue. Have I ever made inari zushi? Aoichi, yes. I used to make all the time. Delicious. You can actually buy the inari zushi skin and then just like boil your own rice. And sometimes I would boil the rice and I would chop up veggies and put it in the rice so it like be like super filling. It was so good. So good. Okay, digressing. Okay, let's see. Ray Jella says, "Do you ever want to live in Japan again?" Hmm, I don't know. Honestly, I've thought about this too. I don't know. I don't know. I love my family, and it's hard being away from them. But I mean, it's gonna happen one day anyway, whether I'm in Japan or America. But besides that, I just more so missed Japanese people. Um, Once you start to make a lot of Japanese friends, you'll notice some very some traits that like you can't really find, like some very very Japanese things, like you'll just miss them. And now that I'm working in my Japanese company and all I do is talk to Japanese people all day long, I get that. And so I feel like I've got like really everything I want except my own place. But that's okay. Um maybe. If there's a good reason to go, I'd of course I would. But things are looking pretty good where I'm standing here. So, yeah. Okay, Amy Malinichi says, "Do you know anything about Sasebo or that area?" I know it's south near Okinawa, but that's really all that I know. Let's see, Joshua says, "A question about sunscreen. Did you ever buy sunscreen in Japan? If so, which kind?" I brought all of my like beauty skin products from America, so no, I don't know a lot about Japanese sunscreen. Um, yeah, I feel like they'd have good sunscreen. Japanese people have like a phobia of like getting darker, so I'm sure the sunscreen's like super good for that. If you're like trying to make sure you minimize the amount of the sun's rays that are hitting your pores. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's great. I've just never used it, so I wouldn't know. Sorry. Let's see. Shui says, "What's the best season to go to Japan?" Any season is good. There's always something to do. All the seasons are very different from each other. And so, based on what you like to do, what you're trying to see when you're in Japan, that's the best season to go. So, for example, if you're really like into outdoors, I would suggest like autumn because summer is way too dang hot. I'll say that. But if you want to like be out with in like festivals and things like that, summer's best for that. If you're really like a naturey person, and like you want to like see like the cherry blossoms, obviously spring's good for that, and winter is good if you like hot springs because you could do like a whole freaking tour just going to hot springs. So it really just depends on what you want to do. I personally, I'm a fan of autumn around the world. I think autumn is just like the perfect season because you can like you're so much more flexible with your outfits, the food is usually good, and there's like tons of breaks. Like breaks from work. Like there's Halloween, there's Thanksgiving, there's like all these things. So yeah, I like autumn personally, but that's just me. Do 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 do. Let's continue. I need to pee, you guys. Um, let's see. Wanda Wisdom says, "Greetings. Did I miss much of the lesson? If so, I'll catch up on this replay. But thanks for sharing. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Like I said before, I don't delete these videos. All of my lives are up for you guys to watch whenever you want. Also, please like this video if you like it, so we can make more videos like this, especially more videos about Japanese language. I know I make a lot of videos about like what it's like to be in Japan, Japanese social structure, personal relations, and things like that. But if you guys want to hear some videos about my actual Japanese study, like let me know. Let me know. And I'll make sure that I make that come to be. Okay. Oh yes, highly psychic. Oh my goodness. You guys, what was it? Like last week we had a harvest moon or something. That moon was huge. I was like, there's mysterious work afoot. anyway. Anyway. Let's see. Tony James says yes for political answer. Oh yes. Oh yes. If you ask me a yes or no question, it's not coming out as a yes or a no. It's always there's just so many layers when it comes to questions like that. Like this one. Sir Chicky Teen says, "How was it like living in Japan?" It was amazing. It was life-changing. I came back a different person. I came back totally different. But also like more myself than I've ever been. Political answer. um, okay, let's see. Ooh, I'm interested in this. I'm gonna read Wanda's post. Oh, but first, Amy Lala says, "I missed you. It's been so long. I've watched a live from you. Yay! I'm glad you could make it. Thank you for coming." What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to read this. So Wanda Wisdom says, "Cancer rules the fourth house, the cosmic house of family. Thus, it's hard for most cancers to move that far away to begin with. Your natal chart, I'll reveal the why and how you did so. Why they did have that phobia. Have anyone ever told you melanin sells for more than gold with black stock market? Google. The scientists gotta know the truth about melanin." I'll say that Japanese people, if you see my beauty standards video, you'll understand it's just not seen as a beauty standard. Like, Japanese people don't really tan. Like, you won't find anyone tanning. No one's trying to get darker. People are always trying to get lighter. But they're already pretty light, so like most people try and maintain how white their skin is. And that's just like their standard. Like, that's just what they think is cute. Not necessarily that they think being dark is ugly. There's a video on that too, on like having dark skin in Japan. But Japanese people like it when they are white. So that's just that. Um, yeah, but I'm sure on the black market you could buy a lot of things for a lot of money. We'll leave that there. But Orgilla says, "I just do a guess. You probably also traveled when you lived in Japan. So do you have a place that you would consider an insider tip?" I have a video coming on that too, so I won't spoil too much. But I'll say that I traveled not outside of Japan, but definitely inside of Japan. And there are some places that I would suggest some people look into because they're like, just, they don't get enough hype. But when you go there, you realize why it's so amazing. And that's a video coming up too. But you guys, I have so many videos coming out. You'll see a lot of stuff. But good question. Oh, Zahir Mickle says, "Talk about your study." I will. I will. Thank you. I definitely will. Oh yes, darker hue ages slower. My mom, um, she's over 50, and everyone asks her if she gets like Botox and stuff. Like she looks great. I hope it's genetic. But yeah, so yeah, you do age a lot slower. Um, would singing songs in Japanese help you learn the language? Oh yes, I'd say it helps with your vocab. Definitely, it helps with sentence structure, and the only thing is that it doesn't necessarily help with your intonation because in songs you don't Okay, so Japanese is pretty unique in the sense that the tone of which you say the word changes the meaning. So, for example, there's like byoing and byoing. They're very different. Byoing is a hospital, but byoing is a hair salon. So that it doesn't help you too much because you want to match what the tone, like there's a beat, there's rhythm, there's the instruments. You want to match it so it all sounds nice to the ear. But if you try and speak like that, you might be conveying a different meaning. So that's the only downside. But other than that, it's a great way to start. It's a great way to start. So yeah, we're gonna end this in 10 minutes. So let me know if you guys have any more questions, ask those. I'm gonna end this at the hour. Is there much sun there? There is plenty of sun there. There is plenty of sun. Where I lived anyway. I lived in Gunma. And Gunma, it was a hot summer. Hot, 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 hot summer. Do you guys know FFX? Their K-pop band. They have a song called Hot Summer. Study routine. Yeah, sure. I'd love to make one. Yeah, I'll make one as I get closer to the JLPT test date. I'll make a video on my study routine and how I'm planning on studying. And then I'll have to show you guys how I did. So I'm gonna study to pass. Study to pass. Let's see. Alichi says, have you ever seen Yuki Poyo no Chopoyo TV? I haven't. I like it for how fast she speaks and the way she changes the tone of her voice. I wish I could keep up. LOL. Was it like that when you first arrived in Japan? Um, yeah, oh my gosh. People would talk to me and I'd like not know what they were saying. Like people literally had to slow things down for me. And even my Japanese, I spoke Japanese, but my vocabulary was really limited and my accent wasn't too great. But yeah, with time, I improved a lot. Enough to work in a Japanese business now, so that's a good sign, right? Okay, what do you think about Shinto? I think Shinto is a great religion. I think it is a religion that respects the elements and nature. And I am a big tree hugging girl, so I can appreciate that too. But the thing is, most Japanese people don't consider themselves one religion or the other. They more so just do customs that are based in that religion. But most Japanese people would consider themselves as non-religious. Interesting. Sarah Chicky Teen says, what are some places you would recommend to go that is in Japan? Well, if you're planning on going to Osaka, flying in maybe for the first time to Osaka or to Tokyo, always pick Tokyo because it's a lot more foreigner friendly for first timers. So that's one tip I'll say. Um, let's see. Osaka's still awesome though. I've been there 3 times. Really cool. Talk about the black market. Okay. Konnichiwa. Spell each of those words, please. Boeing. Oh, byoing. B-Y-O-U. Byoing. I-N. B-Y-O-U-I-N or B-Y-O-N-I-N. Byoing. No, it's not byonin, it's byoing. It's hard because it's not actually, you don't spell it with Roman characters. So it's hard to like do it, but it's B-Y-O-U-I-N. Byoing and byoing. So you add a U or don't add a U. There you go. Konnichiwa. Let's see. Yes, pitch and intonation are very similar. Japanese is not a tonal language like Chinese or Vietnamese. It's a pitch language. Indeed. There's a right way and a wrong way to say a sentence. And you can tell. I feel like even if I speak grammatically correct, even if I speak correctly and properly, my pitch can give me away sometimes. Like I'll talk on the phone. Like if someone calls the office, I'll like answer it and then they'll be like moshi moshi and I'm like, okay, that's my cue to start speaking Japanese. I'm like moshi moshi blah 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 blah. And after a while they can tell because the way that I like angle my tone and my pitch is like it's still very foreigner like even though I can speak Japanese. お、お前は死んでいる。それはちゃんとの文章じゃないけど、まだ生きてるから。So basically, I'm not even gonna translate that. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good in the hood. All right, let's continue. Finish says, one last question. What's your favorite Japanese singer or group? I love Perfume. I love Perfume because they're so cute. I love Perfume. I love their music. Like, I'll listen to their music when I run, when I'm getting ready in the morning. Like, they're just very cheerful. I love the song Seventh Heaven and Puppy Love. It's so cute. I love cute stuff, you guys. Kawaii. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Hello Talk? I use the app to practice my Japanese, but recently found that Japanese women use it to date foreigners. Ooh, try to practice, but I'm always flirted with. Is that a bad thing? I'm kidding. Me too. I'm kidding. Ooh, that was bad placement. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, there is such a thing as gaijin chasers, which are Japanese people who talk to, like, initiate contact with foreigners just to date them to speak English. So you can experience some of those, but I'm sure there are some people who are genuinely trying to learn English and teach Japanese as well. So I don't give up, but keep an eye out that there's a significant amount of people. Sayonara. There's a significant amount of people who are there just to date, but yeah, sorry. Oh, MT says, your channel is everything. Thanks for answering my question. How's the makeup search in Japan for dark skinned people? I'd say if you are looking for makeup, there is makeup for dark skinned people, and that is mainly in the big cities. So whatever prefecture you're in, go to the biggest city in your prefecture and you'll probably find some there. But if you're in some small rinky-dink town on the outskirts, in the mountains, by the sea, you're probably not gonna find some dark skin makeup. But whenever I go to Tokyo, like going to like NYX or something, like there's always dark skin makeup. And they usually have like the full shade spectrum. They'll get it imported. So go to the big cities and you'll be fine. Like just plan a trip to a big city and just buy all the makeup they have. That's the best way to do it. Um, let's see. TV shows, movies that will help learning Japanese. Any of them. I'd say if you're a beginner, start with slice of life. So like daily life things, going to work, going to school, like things around that. Um, yeah, that's good stuff to watch. Okay, you guys, last 3 minutes, finishing comments and bye byes, and we'll get out of here. Yes, I love Perfume too. I love Perfume. Oh, I wish you all had fun, but I have to say goodbye now. Bye. Oh, Raheem says, I'm so glad people like you exist. Thank you. I'm glad people like you exist because honestly, when I first made this channel, I thought there were maybe like some people like me who likes Japanese. Um, but I didn't expect this level of support. I don't know. I guess you all have different reasons for watching me, but I appreciate every one of you. So thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. Sayonara. Sayonara. Thank you for coming. But you guys, it's been really interesting this whole time of quarantine. It's given me time to reflect. Um, but this channel is definitely going to be benefiting from it, if anything. Um, yeah, this channel, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out in the next few days. I've got a couple goals to make as far as this channel and what I'm putting out. So you guys will definitely be reaping the benefits of that very soon. But no, I haven't seen Madoka Magica, and it is on my list of things to watch. But yes, oh, true, so true. I feel like all of the darker skinned people are in Korea, so I'm really happy to make this channel for, women of color who are interested in this kind of thing because we need representation. Representation. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking, Tori Sigma Wolf. I have an Instagram. It's chocolate underscore geisha. Janet, Janet. It's chocolate underscore geisha. And yeah, we're gonna end this soon. Okay, Sarah Chicky Teen says, what's one of your favorite animal words that are in Japanese? Well, the thing that comes to mind is karasu. And karasu is crow because I saw a crow yesterday. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Reilly. I saw a crow yesterday when I was driving with my younger sister, and out of nowhere I just said karasu. And she had no idea what I was saying. But that's why you talk to yourself, you guys. You talk to yourself. Talk to yourself in the language. That's the whole idea of this whole video, is just to talk to yourself and reinforce everything you already know. Get it like really like grounded so you can build more on top of it. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Mite kurete arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you so much. If you like this kind of video, please like it so I can see that you do. I'll make tons of more videos during this quarantine time so you guys will get more from me. But you guys have a good day or a good night. Stay safe and wash your hands. All right? I'll see you in the next one. Bye.